What's up? This is John from John Brands Photography, and if you're familiar with the channel, you know I shoot weddings with Fujifilm. Since I've been showing a bunch of this in my videos, which you can check out up above, I've gotten so many questions about how I'm able to shoot weddings with Fujifilm, or just questions from people looking to switch to the Fujifilm system. So what I wanted to share with you all today are the 7 essentials to be able to shoot weddings with the Fujifilm system. Starting out with the camera body. So as you've seen, I'm a huge fan of the Fuji X-T3. I've been using it for about a year now, but I did start on the X-T2. Now the reason I say that the X-T3 is a better choice than the 2 is the focusing is so much faster and the video capabilities are just so awesome. And I know you may be thinking, John, I'm gonna do photography, why are you talking about video? But nowadays with Instagram TV and YouTube and stuff, there's so many opportunities for you to actually use video, and the X-T3 makes it very easy to actually hybrid shoot photo and video on a wedding day. So I highly recommend the X-T3. The X-T3 is fairly affordable comparative to its DSLR brothers, coming in at about $1,500 for the body alone. When I switched from Canon to Fuji, it actually was a pretty easy switch because yet again, the Fuji system is so cheap comparative to your Canons and your Nikons. Also, I've talked about it before, the colors in the Fujifilm system are just so amazing. It honestly makes me want to shoot everything in JPEG and not even have to worry about editing. I haven't done it yet, but there is a video up above that you can check out about my reasons of why I switched to Fujifilm. On top of the colors, the EVF is absolutely amazing, and switching to anything mirrorless and using an EVF just changes your whole life. Like, seriously, being able to see what you get from a photo, seeing your exposure and everything, is just hugely game changing. If you do have more money to spend on your camera as well, definitely check out the GFX system. I haven't been able to shoot any of them personally, but the GFX 50R and the GFX 100 look so good. I'm gonna rent a 100 at some point. Like seriously, I have to try that camera, but I'm scared too because I know if I rent it, I'm gonna wanna buy it. But with your 50R and 100, you're getting a medium format camera, which is so awesome as far as quality. So if you do have more money in the bank, and I mean more money, it's way more expensive than the X-T3, you can also go that route. But the X-T3 has the better focusing system, and it just is a better choice overall. It's small, it's light, it's cheap, it's just really awesome. So that would be my consideration for your camera on the Fujifilm system, is the X-T3. So next up is your lenses. So if you know me, you know I like to travel light on my wedding days. So I'm gonna give you a handful of recommendations for lenses. I'm not a huge fan of carrying like every single focal length ever in the whole world for the just in case. Just a couple of lenses that get the job done. I also like to shoot prime only. So I'm not gonna recommend any zooms because I haven't used them and I don't wanna recommend anything I've never used. So let's go ahead and start out with your lenses, with your widest lenses, the 14mm 2.8 or the 16mm 2.8. So I'm personally a fan of the newer focusing systems on the Fuji lenses, so I tend to stick to the 2.8 or 2 versions of the lenses. I know a lot of people always ask, why aren't you going for the faster lenses? But honestly, the focusing is faster and they're super sharp, and that little bit of extra light I don't necessarily need. Also, the newer lenses are way cheaper than the older focusing systems, so if you're looking to save some money while you build your kit, this is the way to go. The 14mm 2.8 is okay. It's the lens I use, and you've seen it in a couple of videos I've done. You can check out one up here. But I honestly don't like it. Yet again, it's using the old focusing system. The 16mm 2.8 I have not personally used, but it looks absolutely amazing. Coming in at about $400, it is a steal of a deal, and you're gonna want a wide lens to take epic wide shots as well as shots on the dance floor. Next up will be your mid-range wide lens, which is the 23 f2 or 1.4. Yet again, I'm more of a fan of the newer lenses, so the 23 f2 coming in at barely $500 is a great deal. I use it on all my weddings. You can check out my full wedding day videos. That's the lens I'm using there. I absolutely love that lens. It is super small, it is super light, it's fairly priced, and it's sharp all the time. I think I never really stop down unless I just want to make sure that everything is sharp through. Like for group portraits or for a flat lay, I'll go to 3.2. But honestly, I'm wide open most of the time. Now I have used the 23 1.4, and it is really nice lens. I don't like the size of it, and the focusing is way slower than the f2, but yet again, if you want a faster lens, that's gonna be the way to go as far as getting more light in. Out of all of the older lenses, the one that I would upgrade to would be the 23 f 1.4. So definitely check that out if you have the extra money and you wanna build your kit with the faster f-stop lenses. Then we have the start of our tele lens, which is the 35 f2. Now, I'm sorry, I'm not going to recommend the 1.4. I did not like the 1.4 version of the 35. I love my 35 f2, and I wouldn't give it up for anything in the world. It focuses fast, the bokeh looks great, and yet again, it's a super small lens, so it's easy to carry. The 35 f2 also is coming in around $400, so yet again, as you can see here, you can build a nice kit for fairly cheap if you're going with the f2 versions of the lenses rather than the 1.4 versions, which come in at around $1,000 a piece. And if you need more proof that it's usable, yet again, my full wedding day videos, I'm using the 23 f2 and the 35 f2. And then last but not least would be our long tele lenses, which you have to get the 56 f1.2. The 56 is honestly probably Fuji's best lens. That thing looks great, lets in so much light, and it's just an awesome overall lens. My only big gripe with it is it's a little slow for focusing, and I wouldn't recommend using continuous focusing while using that lens. Honestly, whenever I want to get a nice bokeh background photo, nice portraits, the 56 is always my first go-to. You can see here in a couple of photos, the 56 is just amazing. Also too, whenever I'm doing the Brenizer technique, the 56 is a nice focal length to get that blurry background, but also get the wideness and have your computer be able to stitch the photo together easily. Now, as an honorable mention here, if you do need something longer, the 90 f2 is awesome. I bought the 90 f2 and honestly, I just never used it. It's a great lens, but I don't use it. The focusing is nice. It has IBIS built into it, so it's really, really good, but I don't know. The 56 is way better, so definitely give that a try. And then a quick honorable mention as well, if you want to take macro shots, but you don't want to buy one of the macro lenses like the 90 f2, definitely check out some of the Fuji extension tubes. So I'm using the 16x extension tube, and I pair that with my 56 f1.2 whenever I'm taking macro shots. I usually have the stop down to about f4 to get everything in focus, but I'll use this for my ring shots. And it's nice because I don't have to bring a whole different lens just to get that nice close-up macro ring shot. So definitely check out the Fuji extension tubes. After we've gotten all of our lenses, next up is going to be the grips. So you may be thinking, John, the grips aren't totally necessary, but honestly, in my opinion, and after doing weddings with Fuji cameras for about 3 years now, you need the grips. The battery grips allow you to go through the day and not have to worry about changing your battery every 5 seconds. As you know, mirrorless cameras are notorious for having to switch the batteries like every 5 seconds, and honestly, I'm not trying to do that on a wedding day. When I'm shooting a wedding, I want to be focusing on what's happening in the room, what's happening with the couple, and what's coming up next on the timeline. So with the battery grips, I'm actually able to make it all the way to the reception and then switch my batteries, which is actually about 6 to 7-ish hours depending on the wedding day. Another cool thing about Fujifilm and the battery grips is you still have a battery in the camera itself. So you have 2 batteries in the grip and 1 in the camera. So even if your grip fully dies as well, you still have the 1 initial battery in your camera. So it's a great way to extend your battery life and not really have to worry about switching your batteries very often. Also, being able to take portrait pictures on the side and have the little button on the side as well, it's just a nice touch. I don't like always having to switch my wrist all in a wonky area to be able to press the shutter button whenever I'm shooting in a portrait mode. So the battery grip really helps out with that as well. The battery grip for the XD3 comes in a little bit over $300, so it's not too bad. So you're taking your $1,500 body, adding another $330 to that, so about $1,800 for the whole kit, and then add some lenses to that. So obviously, after talking about the battery grip, we have to talk now about batteries and SD cards. So with the Fuji system, you're going to want to have additional batteries. You're not going to need to buy too many more. I have 4 additional batteries on top of the 2 batteries in each of my cameras. Make sure when you buy your batteries, get the Fuji official batteries. I know there's a lot of other batteries out there and they're cheaper, but guys, just use the normal Fuji approved batteries, trust me. You're not going to want to be at a wedding day and have your whole camera just stop on you because you're using jank batteries to save some money. I know they're a little bit expensive, coming in a little bit over $100 a piece, but trust me, they're worth it because I've heard horror stories about the cheap batteries. So if you've had a good experience with the cheaper batteries, let me know in the comments below because I've only heard about bad experiences. Also for your SD cards, the Fujifilm system can use UHC 2 cards. So you can get those and get much better speeds out of your SD cards. A lot of people ask me if I shoot compressed or uncompressed, and I do shoot compressed RAW. That gives me a lot more space on my cards. Right now I'm using UHC 1 cards that are 128 gigs, and compressed, that's giving me about 3,000 photos, 3 to 4,000 photos on the day of the wedding. As far as your speeds, if you can afford the 300 megabits per second cards, definitely get those. The buffer rates on that are amazing and you're able to shoot for a long time. I have ones that are 170 and the buffer rates are pretty good on that too. I'm getting probably good to almost 100 photos in a buffer session while just high speed 14 frame a second on my Fujifilm. I'm a huge fan of the Samsung SD cards. I don't use anything else. I've had great experiences with them and I have a whole bunch of them, but the 128 gig card size has been a perfect size for when I'm shooting compressed. If you're deciding not to shoot compressed, you're going to want bigger cards like 256 cards because those things are about 50 megs a piece and you will burn through gigs pretty quickly. So I suggest always shoot compressed. I've not seen any problems with it and it ends up saving you space on your cards so you don't have to buy as huge of cards. So now we have the majority of our pieces already ready as far as the Fuji system is concerned. We have a body, we got lenses, we got grips for our cameras, SD cards, and additional batteries. Now on to the extra stuff you're gonna need for your wedding days. Yet again, I like to travel light, so this stuff is gonna be nice and quick and easy, just enough to get the job done. Since I like to use 2 bodies, primes only, you definitely need some sort of camera strap, and my suggestion there would be the Holdfast Moneymaker. So the Holdfast Moneymaker is a leather strap that allows you to carry 2 camera bodies on you at all times. Not only is this great for having a backup camera so if one of your cameras go bad, but you also don't have to switch your lenses as often if you're shooting prime only. What I'll typically do with my cameras is one camera on my right will be my wide lens camera. This will be shooting with my 23 or my 14. Then on my other side, that would be my tele camera, and that'll be shooting with my 35 and my 56. So then when I switch during the day, I only have to switch one lens on one camera at a time, depending on the situation. There's a rare amount of time where I'm gonna need to switch both cameras at the same time because one's gonna get closer up for me and one's gonna get wider. And at most, I'll need to get even more wider, so I'll switch that lens. Or I'll need to get closer, so I'll switch that lens. The Moneymaker also is super durable. I've had my original one for 6 years now, and you can see it's been through some times, but it has held through sunny, super hot North Carolina weddings in the summertime and just all kinds of stuff. Super cold weddings in New York. It's been through it all. It's traveled all over the place, and it just wears in really well and just keeps on trucking. I highly recommend the Moneymaker for your camera system. Next up, after a way to carry our cameras, we need a way to carry some of our gear. So for that, I suggest the Holdfast Gear bags. The Sightseer is the bag you've seen me using on my full wedding days, the one that I wear on my back. I love that bag so much. I'm able to fit 2 of my flashes and 2 of my mag spheres in there, as well as an additional lens, all on my back. Also, there's an extra pouch as well, so I can fit extra lighting if I want to. Like I have this little LED light by Manfrotto that's tiny that I'll use for sparkler exits and things, and a wipe for my lenses and additional batteries, all on me, all on my bag, easily accessible right behind me. So that's the Sightseer bag by Holdfast Gear. And then when it comes to traveling and maybe carrying some more gear right on me, the Romographer is hands down my favorite bag. Not only does it look really cool, the leather wears in very well, but it's nice and spacious and I'm able to fit my whole gear set when I go and do New York weddings. So pretty much when I travel, I'm able to fit everything right on this bag and bring it on as a carry-on so I have all my gear close to me because I'm sorry, this stuff costs too much for me to be checking the bag and then hoping that it gets to its destination. Also, this is a nice bag to have if you're on your wedding day and you need to carry some extra stuff in the bag. There's a lot of space in it and you can even take out the insert for all your photo gear and just use it as a weekend bag as well. So I've used it in so many cases and I bring it with me on every wedding. I may not use it on the wedding day itself because yet again, I like to travel light. But if for some reason I need it or at a styled shoot or something, it's great to have additional lenses in there, maybe even an extra body and some extra lights and just carry it along with you. And then last but not least, probably one of the more important things on your wedding days will be lighting. So because I like to travel light, we're not going to go into every detail of all the lighting that you can get. We're going to keep it very nice and simple as your first starting kit. So typically on a wedding day, I pretty much bring with me only the Godox V862F. The F is for Fujifilm, but they do make this flash for a bunch of different camera systems. This is a very typical speed light that you're able to sync up with other speed lights as well. So if you are doing off-camera flash, it's really easy to set one as a master, set the other as a slave, have the flash on your camera still, and trigger the other flash as well. I currently have 3 of these, and I'll keep 2 on my camera and then 1 off as an off-camera flash, because I tend to not use off-camera flash actually. The 2 of these flashes by themselves are enough on most of my wedding days, and I've been doing it like this for 2 years. Just throw the Max Sphere on top of them as a modifier and you're pretty much good to go. I've never had problems any other way. Not only is this flash nicely priced at about 180 bucks, but it also comes with its own battery. So with the lithium ion battery that comes with it, your recycle times are insane. I'm able to shoot at high speed shutter on my Fuji and the flash will keep up with it. As long as I stay around 1/32 of power, it's good to go. So I absolutely love these flashes, and also they can sync up with the other Godox flashes as well. So if you do want to get something with more power like their strobes, the AD200 or something of that sort, you can get those and still trigger them with your 860s on your camera. So it's definitely a great flash system to get into. Highly recommend Godox. I've only been using them for about a year now, but they are so easy to use. So easy to sync up all of your stuff and just get in there and start using your flashes. So again, we have your camera body with the X-T3, I highly recommend. Your lenses, I'd say the 16 2.8, the 23 f2, the 35 f2, and the 56 f1.2. You have battery grips, so you don't have to change your batteries every 2 seconds. Additional batteries and fast SD cards. Definitely check out those Samsung 300 megabits per second cards. You have the Hold Fast Gear Moneymaker to be able to hold 2 bodies at the same time. And then you also have your Hold Fast Gear Sightseer and Romographer to carry all of your gear while you travel and while you're on your wedding days. And last but not least was our flashes. The Godox system is very awesome. Check out the V862s and maybe even the AD200s. I don't have any, but maybe one day I'll get some. And that would be your 7 essentials to start wedding photography with the Fujifilm camera system. So if you have any other additions you'd love to add to this list, let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing from other photographers and seeing how they use their camera systems. So keep it mainly Fujifilm in the comments, but what do you all use? Do you feel the same way that I do about the f2 lenses? Do you think the f1.4 is the only way to go? What are your favorite lenses? Or even leave some comments about the zoom lenses down there as well, since I don't use any. Thanks again for hanging out on the channel, and I really do hope this helped you with building your first Fujifilm system. If you like this information, hit that thumb. Don't forget to subscribe for more on wedding photography with the Fujifilm system, and I will catch you all next time. All right, peace.